Good morning and welcome to the 5K50 project. On this episode we talk Zwift, the indoor training program. We talk indoor versus outdoor cycling, and I channel my inner Brene Brown and talk vulnerability with my 5K50 goal. All right, I thought I'd give you a quick tour of my indoor setup. The indoor setup starts with a trainer. I have a Zwift, or not a Zwift, I have a Wahoo kicker trainer. It is an older one. It's a 2015 or 16 model. I've had it for several years now. It does the trick. There's a lot newer, quieter, fancier trainers out, but they're expensive and this one keeps working, so we'll keep using it. My indoor bike right now is my old Cannondale. Right now during this time of year where I'm inside and outside quite a bit, I usually keep my Super 6 outside and ride outside, and then I have my old Cannondale Cat 8 inside to keep on the trainer and ride. They're similar geometry, so the setup's pretty similar. I do have a new Sella Italia saddle that I've been trying out the last few days. It's a little harder, a little stiffer than my regular one, so I'm not sure if I like it quite yet, but we'll keep giving it a try. I run Zwift on my computer, my old computer, and then I stream it through an old Apple TV to my TV so I can have a big screen watching as I ride. And then of course a fan is vital on an indoor training, as is a towel to wipe up everything. On my phone I also have the Zwift companion app. On the companion app is where you can control turns, your views, your maps, give people thumbs up, wave to people, all that kind of stuff is controlled on the little companion app on your phone that I have mounted on my bike. Probably the first upgrade I'll do this year is get a new Apple TV so I can just run Zwift directly on the Apple TV and not have to worry about running it through the computer. But right now that's the basic setup: the trainer, the bike, computer, TV, fan, and we're set to go each day. All right, indoor workout complete. About 13 miles, 40 minutes. Not a bad one to get back in the swing of things indoors. A couple thoughts on indoor training versus outdoor training. Outdoor training, of course, is where it's at. There's nothing like riding your bike outside, going wherever you want, cruising around with your group. Really, there's nothing beats that, and that's probably why I stay so avid as a cyclist, is that outdoor cycling with a group. However, with the invention of Zwift and other training apps, indoor cycling has become much more tolerable. When I first started doing indoor cycling, I just had a very basic Blackburn trainer. I could last maybe 10-15 minutes on it before I was about to kill myself. So that was not very consistent and not very effective. But when I started riding Zwift about 3 years ago, things changed. With having kind of that group feel on Zwift, with riding with lots of other people, having challenging routes, having the variation of up and down hills, being able to see your power output, even drafting on people in the game. Zwift has really changed the indoor training scene. As far as what each ride is like, indoor rides are usually shorter and a lot more intense. At the end of the ride, my average heart rate is much higher than an outdoor ride on average, and the average power is much higher than an outdoor ride on average. So indoor rides, shorter, a little more intense. That's why, kind of like I'm doing now, once I get done with my desired length of ride, usually take a minute to have a spin down, a cool down, catch my breath, and just kind of adjust. So there is Zwift. I'll give you a little bit of an update on my miles and weight progress on the way to work today. All right, on the way to work now, and I thought I would give a little update on the progress of my 5K 50 project, how things are moving along. For the 5K part of it, things are going really well. Of course, with loaded jaw, that helps immensely, getting a lot of miles right at the start of the month. Figuring I have to average about 20 miles an activity day, meaning 20 miles about 5 times a week. I usually take Sundays off and usually one other day as a rest day. So the 50-pound part of the project is the more difficult one to talk about. So I'm going to channel my inner Brene Brown and get a little vulnerable and really look at things how they really are. A lot of times us heavier guys, we have good ways of rationalizing or telling ourselves we're not as heavy as we really are, or that we're just fine. I've always considered myself fit fat, meaning I've been able to do pretty much anything I want. I ride bikes, I go backpacking, I do a lot of hiking, but I've always been overweight. I like to eat, and I like to eat a lot sometimes. So, but when I really look at it, I do have a weight issue. I need to lose weight for my long-term health and long-term life. I can't be this heavy forever. So that is the real focus of why I started this 5K 50 project. At my heaviest, I've been up to about 280 pounds. I have not been under 230 pounds really ever since I've been an adult, maybe in my early 20s. But my weight usually fluctuates between about 240 and about 270. Started January 1st of this year at 266. After losing a little bit of weight last fall, and I am down to 250 on September 1st. Actually, it was a tiny bit below that, but that was largely due to loaded jaw and a big athletic event, so that was a little bit artificially low. Currently, today, I was 248.3, so I am going down a little bit. My plan for the 5K 50 project is to go from 250 down to 200. I've not been 200 since I was probably 19 or 20 years old. So that is the ultimate goal. In order to do that, I need to lose about 5 or 6 pounds a month the first months, when it's a little easier to lose weight. And then as it gets a little more difficult, as I get closer to that goal, losing 3 or 4 pounds a month will be the plan. So really try to be a slow, steady progression, not a big single 6-week, 8-week, do something extreme and lose a ton of weight, because I have done that in the past. I've tried several different things, which I'll talk about over the course of these videos, but they've never seemed to have long-term effects. So really trying to go long-term, steady, and permanent. So we'll see how that works, and that's kind of where we're at. So off to a good start on 5K. Lots of miles on the legs already. 50, down 2 pounds of my 50 needed. So there's the progress report. We'll check in on that in a couple weeks.